So we just finished the Python basics, and the next chapter is Python lists. And then the third one is the functions and packages and NumPy. Okay, now the topic is a list. And so far we have seen different kinds of data type. The first one is the int and the float, which include the decimal points, and a boolean, which is true or false, and a string, which is text. Now we are gonna make a little bit more of that. So that is a list. And what is a list? List is something like this. So in order to make a list, we need a square bracket. And everything inside the square bracket is the elements of a list. So we're gonna make a list areas that contains the area of the hallway, kitchen, living room, bedroom, and bathroom in this order, and use the predefined variable. So the whole is this number, kitchen is this number, and so on. So, and we are going to create a list areas. So that is the variable name. And then how can I make a list? It's a whole and kitchen and living room and bed and bath. ATH. Then I can make a list. And then I'm going to print it out. So print areas. Then result is a list. So it has number 11.25, which is value stored in a variable whole, and 18, and so on. So this is my answer. And let's go to the next one. So I'm gonna paste this. And create list with different types. Okay, can I make a list with different types? Yeah, because here areas are whole, kit, and live, bed, bath. These are the variables here, the 5 variables. But I can add living room, and it's a string, not the numbers. And here is another one. Bathroom is a string. It does not contain the numerical values. So now when I print the variable areas and run the code, it has 11.25 and number, and string, number, string, number. So that's okay. Yeah, because a list can contain any types of variables, any types. So far, yeah, we have only know 4 different types: int, float, string, and boolean. But lists can have any different types. So the surprising next thing is that you can create a list of a list. What did I want? Areas. You didn't assign the correct. Okay, I don't know the answer. So, so it asked me to, the hallway is whole, kitchen is kitchen. Okay, and run this one. And the first element is a string hallway, and the next element is the value of the hallway, and so forth. So my list is EL1, EL2, EL3. So can you tell which one of the following lines of code are valid way to build a list? So A is 1, 3, 4, 2. Okay, it's okay. And the B is 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, and it's a list. And 4, 5, 7 is another list. So it is a list of 2 lists. So it's okay. And for selection C, here is your list, and the first element is 1 plus 2, which is 3. And the second element is a string times 5. It is, yeah, another string. Maybe it sounds weird, but it's A 5 times, and 3 is, yeah, just a number. So the possible answer is they are all correct. They are all lists. So submit the list. Yeah, I was right. So it's an example of a list of lists. So hall, kitchen, living room, yeah, bedroom, bathroom, and then we can make, okay, here is a list, and here is another list, and here is another one, and the whole thing is a list. So it's a list of lists. So the instruction asked me to fill out the remaining things, but I'm going to take a shortcut. So this is a list of lists, and print out the variable, and then print out the type of the variable house. So run this code. No. So as I said before, yeah, if I select some part of the code and run the code, and it runs that part. And since this is just a comment, yeah, it's just a comment. But if I do not select anything and run the code, then it runs the everything. So the result of the first print is that print out the whole list we made. And then the second one is that ask the type of a house, and the type of the house is a list. So this is a new Python type. So run this solution. So let me explain the first one. So areas is a list. So it contains string, number, and so on. And the indexing. So one of the stranger thing, yeah, with the index is the first element is referred to the index 0. Well, this is so there are actually two different computer languages which specify the first elements as 0, and the other one is specify the first elements as 1. So one might be more intuitive, but using 0 is more computer friendly. So the first element is 0, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. So print out the second element from the area. So it's a second element. So it's 1, I guess. So run the code. And there is some error because I did not specify the last two, but areas of 1 is 11.25. So the 1 is the second one. And print out the last element. Then you can count from the left, so it's 0, 1, 2, and so on. But the really great feature of the Python is that you can use the negative indexing. So -1 is the last one. Then how about the one from the left? It's -2. And this one is -3. So in some sense, every element has two different indexes. So one is assigned from the positive one, and the other one is negative one. And then print out the area of the living room. So living room is here, but I want to print out the area of the living room, which is 20. So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think it should be 5. And run the code, and there is no error. And I'm going to check my answer, and I got it. Okay. Subset and calculate. Back to the original condition. So using a combination of list subsetting and variable assignment, create a new variable, eat, sleep area, that contains the sum of the areas of the kitchen and the area of the bedroom. And print out the new variable eat, sleep area. So here is the area and some of kitchen and bedroom area, and then make a new variable. So it's eat, sleep, and okay, eat, sleep area is equal to areas of the kitchen, and kitchen is here, so it's 0, 1, 2, 3. So it's 3, and plus the bedroom is here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So areas 7. And then print the variable. So print, oh, it's not ear, it's eat. Eat, sleep area. And run the code. And there is no error, so I'm gonna submit the answer. Yeah, I got it right. Okay, now get back to the original. Slicing and dicing. So you can take some parts of the list by specifying 2 numbers. So for example, when I run this one, areas is a list, and areas 0 is the first element, and areas 1 is the second element. But there is another way. This is the way you specify just one element at a time. But if you wanted to include several elements at the same time, you use the technique like the slicing. And slicing contains 2 numbers. The first one is the start, and the second one is the end, but it behaves a little bit differently what we usually think. So you can start from 0 and end to 1, and it shows you just whole way. Okay, it makes sense. It starts with the 0, so the whole way is in the 0, so it's okay. But I said the end one is 1. So index 1 is 11.25, but it is not included this one. Strange. Why is that? So let's think about the x is a variable, and the left-hand side is the start, and that number is included. And on your right, there is an end, and that is not included. And that's the rule. Screen here. So 0 is included, but 1 is not included. So only thing we can see here is the whole way. Then what's the difference just by specifying one index and specifying or slicing with 0 from 0 to 1? And as you see here, areas 0 just pick that element. So the return is a string. But areas 0 from 0 and to 1, of course, the 1 is excluded, but the result is a list. So that's the difference. Okay, use slicing to, I'm gonna take a shortcut. So use slicing to create downstairs. So areas 0 to 6. So that means 0 is included, but 6 is not included. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And bedroom is not included. And then use the slicing to create upstairs. Then it starts from 6 up to 9, not include the 10. So what was the 6? I think 20 was the 6. No, it was 5. So it's 6, 7, 8, and 9. And 10, there is no 10, but 10 is not what you want. And then print the downstairs variable and print the upstairs variable. And we run the code, and we have the first downstairs is a list containing 6 elements from 0 to 5. And the bottom one is the upstairs upstairs variables, and it has here 4 different elements. And run the solution. And got it. Okay, so we have just learned the slicing, but there is another technique, which is this is just another slicing. But as you can see here, the slicing is a start, colon, and end. So maybe you can start from 0 up to 6. I'm not using the word up to, so from 0 to 6. But here there is no left-hand side here. So that means if the left-hand side start is missing, then it starts from automatically. It starts from the very beginning. And if you miss the end part here, which is right-hand side, the right of the column, that means it automatically includes the last elements. So when you run this code, there is no printout, but we can see the print downstairs is this one. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I did not specify the beginning. If I don't specify the beginning, then the beginning will be automatically the first one. And if I did not specify the last one, then it automatically includes the last one. So submit the answer. And this is the fun part. So we are thinking about a list of a list, and how can we take out some elements. So I'm going to copy this one, Control C and Control V, and actually I don't need this part. Okay, so X is this one. So we define X in this way. So it is a list of lists. The first element of a list is this list. The second element of a whole list is another list. And this is the third element. So what is X0? So X is the biggest list. And what is the element of the first one? It's the first list. And what about the next one? And the answer is a list containing D, E, and F. But how can I access the value of A only? Then we can think about in this way. So X0 refers to the whole sublist, and then A is the first element of that sublist. So it's going to be X0 and then 0. Then it is A. So here, what will house -1 and 1 returns? So house is already here. Okay, let's see what's in the house. So house is this one. And the question is, house, okay, let's take it step by step. So house -1, house -1 is house -1 is the last element of a list, which is another list. And then what would be the house of -1 and 1? and we need to think about it. So house of -1 is this list, and what is elements with the index 1? The first element has an index 0, so the 9.5 has the element 1. So let's check out. It's 9.5. So the answer is a float, the bathroom area. That is our answer. So submit the answer. I got it right. Okay, we have a response. The last part, the -1 and -1 to 1. I don't think I didn't do that, but yeah, we can go back to the previous one. Okay. And the house is a variable which contains a list, which is a list of a list. So house is this one. So you can think of a house. Okay, first, house has 5 different elements. So house 0 is this one, and house 1 is this one. And of course, we can use house -1 to refer to last elements. And this is the way we select the elements of a list. But the selected element is also a list. So if I wanted to take the whole way, for example, then I first select the first element of a list, which is a list containing whole way and 11.25. And then what is the first elements of that list? It's a whole way, right? So the first 0 refers to, means that I wanted to select the first element. So the first 0 means the first element. And then the second 0 means I want to select the first one of the selected one. So this is the first, it refers to the first 0, and this one is the second one means. So by the same logic, so we can refer to the last one. So it's house -1 refers to the last part. So the bath, this string can be referred as house -1 and 0, and 9.5 can be referred as house -1, 1. So it's house. So let's try, yeah, 2 different things. Yeah, 0 is the bathroom, and then 1 is 9.5. And of course, you can use the both -1. So that means I'm gonna take the last part of the house list, and then I'm gonna take the last part of the selected list. So what would be the result? It's gonna be 9.5 again. Yeah, it might be a little bit confusing or a little bit fast, but if you take your time, and then after this class, you can always practice what you have done with your data camp. Okay, let's skip the video because I can explain it much better. So replace list elements. So we have learned how to select how to select elements in a list, or how to select elements of elements in a list, or we can how we can select some part of the list. But we want to replace something. So this is the given. Let's think this is the given. So area is the whole way 11.95, but realize that, yeah, some numbers were wrong. So for example, in this case, it I think it was 10.75, but it realized that it's 10.50. Then how can I replace this element? It just, not this one, yeah. The bathroom area is, originally it was 9.50, but I'm gonna change it to 10.05. Then how can I do that? So just, yeah, select this one. Areas -1 refers to this part, and you can use the assignment statement to replace it. And then you can also change the uh, string. So here is a living room, but you can change it to chill zone. And when you run this one, so when I type the areas again, this area has, okay, here is a chill zone. It was originally living room, but I have changed it to chill zone. And then the bathroom area was 9.5, but now it's 10.5. So this is the way we replace some elements of a list. So submit the answer. And then next one, extend the list. So you may want it to add some more elements of your list. So this is the original one, area, but this guy must be a very rich guy, so it has a pool house in his room or her room, her house. So you can add some more data. So areas is this one, and we add pool house data to areas, and new list is called areas _1. So areas _1 and areas plus another list is going to be this one, and then add another data. In this time, it's a garage data, so garage and some number, and you can make another variables. And, and notice that the areas has never been changed. Areas is this one, but we make a new variables, areas _1. So if I verify that, areas areas is still the original one, but areas _1. And actually I can change the size. So areas, the last one is the bathroom, but areas 1, it has bathroom including the pool house. So it has one more element. And areas _2 does not have, okay, it's not defined. Yeah, it is not defined because I typed the wrong one. Areas _2. So it has hallway, kitchen, chill, bathroom, pool, and garage. So all three variables are in the program. So it is just, it does not change the original list. It just extend a list to making a new list and making another list. So that's the one way to extend. And then this one, we are going to delete the element. So finally, we want to do something here. So let's, do some experiment. Okay, so originally areas are defined in this way. Okay, this areas variable contains the data from the pool, house, and garage data. And there was a mistake. The amount you won with this lottery is not that big after all. It looks like the pool house isn't going to be happen. You decide to remove the corresponding float and corresponding string and float from the list. And the semicolon sign is used to place comments on the same line. The following two code chunks are equivalent. So these two are equivalent. So for example, so print 1 and print 2. Execute it. It prints 1 and 2. This, so it says it means it is equivalent to, say, print 1 first and then print 2 after that. So what is the possible area? So the goal here is that something was wrong about the pool house. So we wanted to remove this part. So in order to remove this part, we need to know where is that pool house is located. So one way to count from the first, so it's a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So this is the one way, 10 and 11. So you can eliminate 10 and 11. And so the answer might be something like the area 10 and delete area 11. But that is going to be wrong, because once you eliminate the elements in 10th place, so for example, the pool house, so you can eliminate that with this command. And then the 24.5 will be in the index 10 because this one is gone. So this one is wrong. And how about this one? Delete areas 10 to 11. But if you remember the slicing of a index, the last one is not included. So it just removes the elements of the 10. So another possibility is this one, use the negative index, So -1 is 15.5. It's a -1, -2, -3, and -4. So it's -4 and up to -2. But it looks like, yeah, -2, so it's -1 and it's -2. But remember that the last number is not included, so it will remove these two parts. So this one is the answer. Let's submit the answer, and it is correct. Now this is the final exercise. So areas are defined in this way, and areas copy is a copy from the very first up to very end. And then so at this moment, areas and areas copy have exactly the same content, but these two are different. These two are different lists. How can we know that? Because if you change areas copy 0, which was 11.25, with the number of 5.0, then areas copy starts with the number 5.0, but the original one is still 11.25. So let's run the code. And as you can see, print areas gives you 11.25. But if you print the areas copy, then the first element is 5.0.